The escalating lawsuit between Tammy and Amy Slayton and the TLC network has become one of the most widely discussed and closely followed disputes in recent reality television history, with observers cautioning that this case is not merely about contract violations or financial disagreements but about power, narrative control, and the very essence of reality television itself, raising questions that cut deep into how the genre is produced, marketed, and consumed, and as court dates approach and the drama intensifies, the entertainment industry, the fanbase, and even other reality stars are watching with a mixture of fascination, dread, and expectation, recognizing that whatever the outcome, it will alter the course of 1,000-pound sisters and perhaps reshape the entire reality television landscape. When word of the lawsuit first spread, a mixture of amazement, rage, and sadness erupted on social media, with fans flooding TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube comment sections with messages of both outrage and solidarity, and almost instantly, hashtags like #SaveTheSlaytons, #JusticeForTammy and Amy, and #TLCCandle began trending, demonstrating not only the sisters' cultural impact but also the degree of emotional investment viewers have placed in their journey and in the online discourse that followed. Two camps quickly emerged. One faction defending the sisters passionately and accusing TLC of exploiting their personal hardships for financial gain only to abandon them when the consequences became messy, and another arguing that the sisters may have pushed the boundaries too far by missing filming commitments, violating confidentiality agreements, and engaging in unpredictable conduct that ultimately forced the network to act, and these heated debates grew into one of the most polarized fan controversies reality television has seen, with viewers analyzing every leaked episode, production rumor, and alleged court filing to build their case for or against the Slaytons. Yet beyond the swirl of fan arguments, the legal case carries profound implications for the show itself and for the network's future strategy, because production insiders confirm that if the legal dispute continues unresolved, TLC executives may seriously consider cancelling 1,000-pound sisters outright, and the thought of pulling the plug on one of the network's most popular and talked-about programs has shocked industry observers, who point out that a termination would not only devastate Tammy and Amy's careers but also impact hundreds of crew members, multiple sponsors, advertisers, and TLC's own brand identity, creating ripple effects throughout the industry. Analysts note that such a move would send a sobering message to both talent and networks that no star, regardless of fan following or personal struggles, is above contractual obligations and legal accountability, and that the blurry line between fame, responsibility, and network authority is being redrawn in a harsher light than ever before. Legal experts following the case warn that the courtroom proceedings may unearth details about behind-the-scenes activities that networks typically keep hidden from viewers, details that could reshape public understanding of how reality shows are made, if Tammy and Amy choose to countersue, or if discovery in the lawsuit makes internal communications public. The world may gain insight into how much pressure, exploitation, and manipulation occurred during filming, with producers potentially revealed to have coerced talent into unsafe situations, manipulated circumstances for maximum drama, or ignored health and safety concerns in pursuit of ratings. And if such revelations emerge, the ramifications will extend far beyond one show, forcing the entire reality TV sector to confront ethical dilemmas and operational norms that have long been kept from the audience's eye. In fact, some insiders speculate that this lawsuit could set off a chain reaction, emboldening other reality television stars to re-examine their contracts, seek legal advice, and even mount their own challenges against networks. And while Tammy and Amy may not have intended to spark a wider movement, they could inadvertently become figureheads for a broader revolution in how reality TV talent negotiates for pay, creative control, and protection from exploitation. For now, the sisters themselves have remained largely silent in public, avoiding direct commentary as the legal storm intensifies, but friends and relatives have spoken anonymously to the press, describing both women as scared, heartbroken, and overwhelmed. Amy, they say, is trying to maintain a sense of normalcy for her children while privately battling anxiety about the family's financial and professional future, and Tammy, though stronger in health than she has been in years, is coping with heightened stress and worry that her progress could be undone by the emotional toll of this lawsuit, and together, the two face the frightening possibility that both their personal lives and professional legacies, which have always been intertwined with the show, are at risk of unraveling. The stakes could not be higher. because the lawsuit touches on careers, finances, family stability, and the trust of millions of viewers who have invested in their story, and the uncertainty has left fans oscillating between hope for a resolution and dread of an irreversible collapse. Entertainment insiders have outlined 3 main scenarios, each more dramatic than the last, and while the outcome remains uncertain, examining these possibilities illustrates the gravity of what is at play. In the first scenario, TLC secures a decisive courtroom victory, forcing Tammy and Amy to repay millions in damages, relinquish control over their social media content, and sever ties permanently with the network, an outcome that would not only cause financial devastation but also erase the legacy of the £1,000 sisters by ending it abruptly without closure, leaving fans to process the cancellation of one of the most dramatic and poignant reality shows of recent memory. The second, more combustible possibility involves the sisters retaliating with a countersuit, using rumored production memos, behind-the-scenes footage, and corporate emails as evidence that TLC coerced them into unsafe behaviors, deliberately staged or manipulated situations, and potentially violated labor or safety regulations, a scenario that could trigger a public scandal exposing the network's inner workings and permanently altering industry ethics. And the third, a quieter but still seismic option, involves a highly publicized settlement, in which both sides agree to avoid a trial in exchange for financial concessions and strict non-disclosure terms, an arrangement that might shield TLC from embarrassment while sparing the sisters total financial ruin but potentially silencing them permanently, and forcing their exit from the show, leaving fans unsatisfied and raising fresh questions about transparency in the genre. Regardless of which path materializes, the litigation will leave permanent marks on Tammy and Amy's lives, because even beyond the financial risk, the emotional strain has been immense, with friends describing anxiety, restless nights, and constant fear about the future as daily realities. And in this sense, the court battle is not only a business dispute but also a psychological ordeal for a family whose existence has been lived under the constant gaze of cameras. The case also raises deeper questions about the long-term viability of reality television itself, because networks suing their own stars introduces a chilling dynamic that could erode trust between cast members and producers. If networks are willing to pursue aggressive legal action against the very individuals whose stories make them millions, then future participants may become more guarded, less willing to reveal intimate details, or more cautious about signing contracts without legal counsel, and the ripple effects could fundamentally alter how shows are produced, casting a shadow of litigation risk over every dramatic storyline and every emotional revelation. For viewers, too, the lawsuit strikes at the heart of their investment in reality television, because fans who have spent years following the Slayton sisters now find themselves questioning whether they were watching authentic struggles or manufactured drama, and whether their emotional support contributed to empowerment or exploitation, and as they flood online forums with speculation, theories, and heartfelt messages, they brace for either the abrupt end of a beloved show or a shocking comeback that could expose hidden truths about the network, and in either case, the relationship between viewers and reality television may never be the same again. What makes the situation even more poignant is the broader symbolism of the sisters' journey. From their early struggles with obesity and health scares to their attempts at personal transformation, the Slaytons embodied themes of resilience, vulnerability, and authenticity that resonated with millions. And now, in a cruel twist, those same themes have been transplanted into a legal arena, where the sisters must fight not only for their livelihoods but for their legacies, and the drama, once confined to episodes aired on TLC, now plays out in legal filings, leaks, and speculative headlines that could determine their fate. With court dates approaching, insiders warn that the proceedings will be messy, unpredictable, and possibly explosive, with both sides possessing information the other would prefer remain hidden, and as curiosity intensifies, media outlets speculate daily on which revelations might surface, from behind-the-scenes manipulation to private negotiations gone sour, and what those revelations might mean for the credibility of reality TV. Some legal analysts argue that if internal TLC documents confirm patterns of coercion or manipulation, the case could trigger regulatory scrutiny or industry-wide reforms, while others caution that even if the sisters win moral vindication, the financial and emotional costs may be too great to recover from fully. Either way, the world is watching closely, recognizing that the lawsuit is not just a dispute between two stars and a network but a moment of reckoning for an entire genre of entertainment, and as the Slaytons prepare for a courtroom battle that could redefine their lives, one thing is undeniable. The outcome will be studied, debated, and remembered for years, not only as the fate of a beloved reality show but as a turning point in how reality television navigates the fragile balance between authenticity, exploitation, fame, and power. The unfolding legal battle between Tammy and Amy Slayton and TLC has quickly escalated into one of the most polarizing and consequential disputes in the history of modern reality television, not only because of the immediate impact on the sisters' careers and personal lives but also because of the broader questions it raises about the ethics, power dynamics, and hidden machinery behind unscripted programming that has become a cultural phenomenon in the United States and abroad. And as analysts, fans, and industry insiders examine every twist in the case, the story becomes less about the details of leaked contracts or individual episodes of £1,000 Sisters and more about how reality television itself functions as a business that thrives on personal exposure, emotional vulnerability, and an uneasy exchange between stars who give their lives to the cameras and corporations that monetize those lives, often at great human cost. And while some defenders of TLC argue that the network has every right to enforce contractual obligations, particularly if confidential material was leaked or filming was disrupted, others insist that the sisters, who have laid bare their health crises, family conflicts, and deeply personal struggles for public consumption, were effectively cornered into a system where saying no was never a real option and where production pressures often blurred the line between voluntary performance and coercion, which raises the question of whether the current lawsuit is not only about alleged breaches of contract but also about a network attempting to remind its entire roster of reality stars who holds the ultimate power, sending a chilling message across the industry that talent who push back may be punished severely, financially, and publicly, even if they have been the very faces that built the franchise's success. In the case of Amy Slayton, close friends describe her as particularly shaken by the lawsuit, not only because of